All right, so welcome to the newly named Real Projections videocast. Is that what this is?
It's a vlog.
It's a vlog?
Yeah. It's not a vlog. It is not a vlog.
Thank you, 2003. I appreciate that. And
bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
That's right.
With me, as always, is Joe Barty, and subbing in for Ham Gravy, we have Matthew Michael Awesome, our illustrious, usually behind the camera producer.
Hello.
Don't lean in. Don't lean in.
Oh, I was doing the Joe Barty.
Oh, God. It's going to be like that.
Yes.
All right. So, we're going to talk about video games and movies. The marriage there, they kind of have...
The unholy matrimony.
The unholy matrimony of video games and movies. Who am I going to start with today? Let's give it to the guest.
All right.
Let's give it to the guest. So how do you feel about video games that are made into movies? Is there any... I'm going to say notable failures, but I'll let you do it. Any notable failures? Any real successes? You know what? Let's just talk about the ones you really liked and save time.
Okay. Because I'm a child of the 80s and I have an affection for Super Mario Brothers, and the movie came out when I was like 10, 11, of course I'm going to like the Super Mario movie. But other than that, I mean, the first Mortal Kombat movie was close. It's a reach.
Those were $500 glasses, asshole.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of a reach to say that was a decent movie. But after that, I mean, what else is there? I mean, do you buy Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile? I mean,
Street Fighter. Oh, fucking Raul Julia. I'm sorry that had to be your last movie. But here's my thing with it: John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins playing two Italians.
Oh, good point. I'm guessing De Niro and Pesci were not available.
Right. I mean,
could you imagine that though?
That would be awesome.
Pesci as Mario, and De Niro as directed by Scorsese.
What would that be like? Koopa Troopa.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Actually, on this, and I know this is going to end up
fuck you in the shell.
Cutting road part.
Yeah.
There's a Machinima. You guys know what Machinima is?
No.
All right. Well, so Machinima is using video game engines to generate movies.
I was worried an enema.
Oh, are you talking about the Super Mario that looks like the Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, using the Grand Theft Auto.
I
got
yes.
You. Okay.
And you've got to see
that.
I know what you're talking about.
Really good.
We'll put the link up.
We'll put the link up.
Yes.
Oh my
really
God.
Good.
Yeah.
So does that count? Are you putting that?
No.
But you know what?
But I'm saying as a good that's like that would be the Scorsese.
Oh, I see.
Like it's the
that video. What is it, like 5 minutes? That 5-minute video is better than any of the movies that we'll talk about here today. There's two of them.
There's two of them.
Shut the front
door.
door.
It's fucking awesome. Usually, or the way it used to be is you would take a video game, like let's say your Super Mario Brothers, which doesn't have really much of a plot. It just has a series of objectives.
Yeah.
And what they took with that series of objectives is they tried to make a plot around it. Nowadays, video games
They have plots.
They have plots, but you're essentially, it's like, and I'm going to get a little shit for this, it's like trying to condense a book into a movie. There's so much depth to video games now. You're playing a fucking 9-hour movie.
Right.
And to condense that into 90 minutes, you're taking a lot out of it now, as opposed to trying to add stuff into it.
But they made the Doom movie with The Rock.
Yeah.
Eventually, right?
Yeah.
And that was going to be Schwarzenegger, and it was like rumored for forever.
Right.
That movie.
I only bring that up because it strikes me as that was like the test run for Halo's movie failing. Because when you're talking about a movie that, how much was that going to cost, right? Like, to actually do that to a giant fucking ring in outer space, and it was going to be pretty expensive. So it just never happened. And as we were talking about the other day, Halo sort of then became District 9.
Right.
Like the guy who...
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, they took... If you go back and watch that movie with the knowledge that they were... The team that made that movie was prepping the Halo movie before they got the rug pulled out from under them. That scene where they suddenly have giant guns that are playing with all these weapons and raid the MMU plant and all of that, and the robot. It's all very Halo.
You've never played Halo, have you?
Yes, I have. Many times, sadly. But no,
called you out.
But I never did own an Xbox, so that is true. That is true.
That brings an interesting point though, because the audience for Halo is there. It's obviously there. I mean, it's one of the highest grossing video games of all time. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, you are correct.
It's up
the
there.
audience is there. And I know that we pay, $60 for a video game and $20 for a movie ticket, but that audience is clearly there.
Yeah.
Not just.
But they're also incredibly judgmental.
They are
very true.
But
that didn't stop them from making Street Fighter. That didn't stop.
But that didn't stop no one from going.
That's true too.
That's a good point.
I'm going to throw out a few movies that are not video game adaptations, but I think actually, or at least one actually represents a good movie, which I was actually watching the other night because it was on IFC's 50 Documentaries to See Before You Die, which would be The King of Kong, For a Fistful of Quarters, which is really sort of like the quintessential video game movie, not only because it's about a video game, but because it really sort of gets to the core of video game players as normal folks. The high score for Donkey Kong, though, is an incredibly highly coveted thing because Billy Mitchell set the record in like 1982 and didn't fall for like 20 years.
What was it? Did not change his look either.
800 something thousand,
oh, really?
And no one got within 300,000 of it for like 20 years. And then finally, there's a few dudes who have like caught up, and when he finally gets past. There's this guy Walter Day who runs this thing called Twin Galaxies, which is sort of like the official video games record group. They have an arcade up in Massachusetts or Iowa or somewhere, I can't remember. But what you get is this sort of picture of this very insular group, and when this guy from Colorado, Steve Wiebe, shows up with the score, they don't believe him, and they like throw him out, and then they're like, you have to do it in front of people. But when he finally does break the record to a point where they accept it, Billy Mitchell sends in a videotape that's clearly sort of altered when he flips it over 1 million points, but you could tell that there's like some chicanery went on with the tape, and he probably didn't really do it, but they immediately give him the record back, and then the rest of the movie is sort of like them coming to grips with this outsider, and him like learning to stand up for himself. It's an amazing documentary, totally about Donkey Kong and people who play. And I'll also say it's kind of a celebration of old-style video games as opposed to new video games, which will definitely appeal to a lot of people.
All right, so we've talked about games into movies. Let's talk about movies into games. We kind of touched on that.
My favorite movie to video game adaptations. I'm going to go way old school here and try to really blow your mind. But I have an amazing affinity for the Aliens video game adaptation that they released for like the fucking Commodore 64 way back when. Which Aliens actually tried to take each pivotal scene in the movie and turn it into a video game thing. It had a great sort of hunting the aliens in the underground with the other Marines. You had the motion tracker, and like it would do that. The Ripley battling the Queen alien in the end. It was like you only saw the metal arms of your machine, and you like had to punch it, whatever.
Could they even do yellow?
They did do yellow. It's actually. Google this one. It is. All right, it may just be that I was 7 at the time, or however old. But it was better than it was better than it should have been. You know what I mean?
Movie to video game adaptation, which is served as sort of a sequel to a movie, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god! Game.
Yeah,
that is, if Ghostbusters the game was Ghostbusters 3. I'm happy as a video game fan.
Seriously,
film fan.
Have you played it?
I have, but I don't know what I don't like.
It basically takes both movies and ties them together into one big overall
ghost universe.
One ghost universe. But Ghostbusters, I mean, you had Vigo, you had you had them all. You had Vigo, you had Slimer, you had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yep.
I mean,
nobody's
yeah.
I mean, and we talked about that. Like the game touches on just the mythology they kind of pulled out of their ass in the first one. The game, I mean, just like the Sumerian gods they pulled out of their ass, all wrapped up neatly in a little fucking
dogs
bow.
and cats living together.
Mass
hysteria.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a wrap for us. As always, I'm Dave Russell, Joe Barty, and subbing in for Ham Gravy, Matthew Michael Awesome, our producer-director.
Extraordinaire.
Guy. We are always receptive to your comments, critiques, concerns. You can leave them on the little bottom. If you go down, you look down there, there should be a button where you can post your comments. Do it. You won't. You're scared. And if you'd like to say it to our faces, we are going to be doing this October 22nd at Real Terror. Do you know what time?
It's going to be
12:30ish.
Yeah, 12:30.
12:30.
Yeah.
We're kind of opening the show.
PM.
Well, no, I think we're opening the show with the Tampa Theater summer program's Demonic Activity.
Oh, nice.
Yes, very good. Very
Man.
young kids making horror movies, and some of them are really good.
We're going to talk to them about sneaking into R-rated movies.
All right,
exactly.
And what are we going to be discussing? What is the topic?
What are the upper crust of horror? What are the best horror movies ever made?
What are they?
Don't
say it!
I won't tell you.
You have to come and see us live. It's 10 Bones?
I'll give you a hint. The director wrote the soundtrack. Keep going.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Wow.
If you think about it, you will.
Now I have to go to Real Terror.
Now I haven't. Gosh, that's swell.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.
Yes.
Later.
Bye.
That's it.